Hey y'all, IrixGuy here, and it looks like the Apple Mac OS Big Sur has changed something because historically I use two Apple TVs for my live stream, and for whatever reason it's not letting me stream at the same time to the two different Apple TV 4Ks. Jake, right here on time this time. Yes, sir. You are too, man. I bet you were in the lobby waiting. I appreciate that. Philippe from New York City, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, everyone. We got Philippe. We got tech for your needs. Welcome, welcome. Jake, let's get this show on the road. Colin, welcome aboard. Hello, my friend from Colin and Luciana in Liverpool. And I think I mispronounced Luciana, because I remember you told me about that during a previous live show. Let me grab something here. This, of course, is the sound of the Super Chat. So anytime you choose to Super Chat, this thing will erupt. And if we get through $100 US during a single live show, I will break out the drum. So appreciate y'all's support. If you choose to Super Chat, it's that there's a little button in the chat area. It says Super Chat if you mouse over it. So my name is Lewis. Yes, you are. Lewis, you are Lewis. Welcome, welcome. My name is IrixGuy, and we're going to get this show going. So, got kind of sniffy here. I hope I don't have any sort of pandemic bugs. Those are going around, as we know, and hopefully that stuff goes away soon. There's tons of stuff in the Apple world. Jake says, just called Maya McKenna as well. Katie over for the stream. Welcome aboard. Y'all to come on. That's something I want to bring up. I'm probably going to do a live show probably tomorrow evening and then probably also Wednesday evening. So if you want to be a face-on-video guest, or if you want to call the New York studio for IrixGuy's Adventure Channel, you can call that. Actually, our studio's got a new phone now. It's used to be a yellow phone. Now it's kind of a bluish gray color. But that'd always be fun. Jake says, I hate it. I can't do Super Chat. Hey, man, no problem. Super Chats are not required. They're just definitely appreciated. And, you know, what's most appreciated is everybody tuning in here and all this live chat back and forth. We can talk about anything I want to. You know, obviously, let's keep it friendly for all age groups, and, nothing profane or anything. I mean, I don't believe in censorship, but I like to keep it clean. I want to keep everything clean for all ages. Philippe says, hi, Ed, I noticed something. When you were speaking and an ad is coming, we will miss some of the speech. Are you aware of it? Kind of annoying. Yeah, my live shows are monetized with ads. That's one way that I bring in ad revenue, and and also obviously not Snapchat, but Super Chat. So, as these live shows grow and we get more Super Chats, then there may be less ads if I'm getting more Super Chats. So that's kind of how I play that. Jake says, one day, IrixGuy, one day I will be on the show in person. You mark my words. Well, it's a long trip to New York, but if you're ever in New York City in the United States of America, just give me a shout, and maybe we can meet up somewhere for a live stream. That'd be cool. Let's see. What else? We got this Apple Silicon, and I'm still using, right now I'm using the Intel MacBook Pro. My Apple Silicon M1 just went with the MacBook Air, and that's what's funny. What is so funny about the way Apple's done this is a somewhat loaded up Core i9, 8-core, 32 gigs of RAM, and 1 terabyte SSD. That entry-level tier of notebook, the MacBook Air M1 with 16 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte is probably going to smoke this Core i9, which is crazy. The Mac Mini that I've got on the other side of my studio right now, it smokes my Core i9. So, it begs one to question, when Apple releases the next generation of Apple Silicon, you know, the iMacs and the Mac Pros, you know, how insanely fast are those going to be? So that is pretty crazy. Tech for Your Needs says, I'm only 4 hours from New York, Boston. Cool, man. Yeah, that's not too far. Jake says, live in Ontario. Yeah, Ontario's not too far from New York either. So Philippe made a good point. Too small, the screen on the MacBook Air. Yeah, it would be for my everyday use computer, but what I'm going to do with the MacBook Air, it's just going to be my in-the-field edits, you know, small, lightweight, great battery life, ample amount of storage, 1 terabyte, you know, just something to take out in the field. And then when I bring it back to the studio, I'll be editing on my Mac Mini M1 that's connected to the bigger screen. I think I'm actually, when sales come around here in a few weeks, or not a few weeks, but a few days for the Black Friday, I think I may pick up, if I can get a good deal, try to pick up an ultra-wide monitor, because I think that with the Mac Mini will just be a sick setup. So, you know, but to your point, the MacBook Air, if it was your one computer and you didn't have an external monitor, that 13-inch, especially coming from a 16-inch like I use now, it could seem a little bit cramped. So, yeah, but it's going to be my field computer. Because, see, until M1 came out, this MacBook Pro was my only computer, so it had to be powerful enough to be my desktop and my laptop. But now I'm going to have a more portable, better battery life, smaller and lighter laptop for the field, which, I don't know. It's like anything else. You know, you use one kind of workflow, and then you want to change it up, and, you know, a new product comes out. You want to play with a new product, and, you know, it's called a GAS, Gadget Acquisition Syndrome, GAS, Gadget Acquisition Syndrome. So just something to be aware of. Jake said, I have some bad news. I got a bronchitis flare-up, and it's so bad. Dude, drank you some whiskey. Probably the best thing for a bronchial flare-up. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a politician. Jake says, if I was on this live, be VR via my phone. Yeah, no problem with that, dude. You can join Face on Video by the phone. That's no problem. Actually, I'd like to try to get a really big live show up, if not tomorrow, for I'll probably do one every night. Why not? I'm going to do one Wednesday night for sure, but I'm probably gonna do a live show tomorrow. Tonight was just kind of a bonus. You know, I got ahead of some things I'm working on for the channel, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to put on my official IrixGuy's Adventure Channel T-shirt and get on camera here. So, yeah, I've I enjoy doing these shows. My stuff, my congestion, I don't have a sore throat. I just got this runny stuff, but I can still taste stuff. I can still taste my beverage, and I could taste my dinner. So, hopefully, with that being the case, hopefully I don't have this stuff that's going around. I don't wish it on anybody. But who knows? So, yeah, the new Apples are cool. This is bad. And, I tell y'all, I keep things honest on this channel. And, I love GoPro. I've been using GoPro since GoPro Hero 2. Never got the GoPro Hero 1 because I didn't really understand. It's like, well, why do I want a camera without a screen on it? I didn't understand that a GoPro was all about mounting on stuff and capturing unique video perspectives. The GoPro, when I was in the Smoky Mountains doing several nights on the Appalachian Trail, and I've got a lot more of those videos coming soon, by the way. I've only got a few of them posted so far because I've been working on something really big for the channel, and I haven't devoted as much time to editing as I normally do. So I've got a ton of footage. I've got almost a terabyte of footage from backpacking in the Smoky Mountains. So, bunch of good stuff coming. But, yeah, I want to tell y'all about the GoPro Hero 9 Black. So, it messed up. And I've got a video I posted. I was in the Smoky Mountains backpacking many miles out, and my GoPro starts locking up. And I'm having to pull the battery out. Unacceptable. Unacceptable, GoPro. Unacceptable. But I tell you what was acceptable when I reached out to GoPro and I explained, I didn't get any flack. I didn't get any grief. I didn't get, well, let's try this, let's try that. I said, look, I've been using your GoPro since GoPro Hero 2. I've gone through a thorough list of troubleshooting steps. And if you want to know what I did, here's what I did. Okay, sir, well, no problem. We're going to send you a free replacement. So I had to ship back. They gave me an RMA label, shipping included for that. They gave me an RMA label. I shipped the GoPro to them. Granted, it's taken over a week, but I got notification that my replacement GoPro Hero 9 Black is on the way. So hopefully the replacement Hero 9 Black works well, because if it doesn't, like Philippe said, have you looked at the new Insta361 RX2? Yes, I looked at the Insta361 RX2. And actually, Michael Kincaid, and you may have checked out his YouTube channel, his Instagram, he's someone that I did a lot of backpacking with in the Smoky Mountains. He's a big user of the Insta. He didn't have the 361 RX2 because it hadn't been released. He had the 1R whatever, which was awesome. I mean, he had this long monopod, and the shots he could get were it looked like a drone. I mean, it's like you were flying. It's an awesome camera, dude. Don't get me wrong. And actually, I'm thinking about making a switch, trying it out, and see if it satisfies me like GoPro has in the past. Jake said, it's been scaring me as a C-19 is around, which made me nervous, but it's nothing to be worried about as I get flare-ups. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's something to be taken lightly. I think, possibly it's blown out of proportion. Again, I'm not part of the medical community. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a politician. I'm just a guy on YouTube, youtube.com/IrixGuy. But, you can't help but to think anytime you get a sniffly nose or a scratchy throat and maybe a little bit of a fever, it's like, ooh, you don't know. And, hopefully that's not the case. And if it was, hopefully it's just, a common cold and goes away. Who knows? But, yeah, be careful. Yeah, Jake, no doubt, be careful, man. I mean, it's nothing good. It's not like you go pick this stuff up. It's not like it's going to do something good for you. If it did something good or it made you feel good, whatever, I mean, maybe it's worth a risk, but it doesn't. I mean, there's nothing good that can come out of it. Jake says, I just got an alert for the fire rescue styrene tanker flipped on Highway 7 just outside of Charbot Lake. Oh, man. Hope everybody is okay, because that is scary. Super scary. Brad, welcome aboard, sir. We were just talking. We're talking about a live show. Probably going to do another one tomorrow night, Wednesday for sure. If you'd like to be on the live show, just shoot me a message and I'll get you the invite and get you on there. I've got everything in the studio set up for Skype, so it'll be a professional experience, unlike the last times when I was getting the equipment tweaked. So the equipment is in-house and the equipment is working now. So Jake says Charbot Lake, I should say. Charbot Lake? Philippe says, when do you think the vaccine will be available for most of the population? Qantas Airline will request the passengers to get the vaccine to fly. I don't know when it's going to be available, but if you've ever sampled pre-production software, beta software, that sort of stuff, it's not always a good experience. It can be buggy, and if I think it'll be available soon. Now, will I be getting it soon? No. And again, that's personal preference. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion. I mean, you could tell me that, if they said that, okay, well, if you get this, you get a free flight to wherever you want to go, and then you get, 2 weeks of free food and lodging and transportation and this, that, and the other. Even if an airline offered me all of that, and this is all made up, this is not an offer, this is just all hypothetical. But even if an airline offered me that, let's say they offered me free round-trip airfare, to anywhere in the world, free lodging for 2 weeks, food, best of the world accommodations, this, that, and the other. Even if they offered me all of that, and the kicker was to get it, did I have to get a vaccine? No way. Life's more important than being a guinea pig for some sort of cure that, it may not have been thoroughly tested. And, it's one of those things, people get in a sense of panic and they make mistakes. They make rash decisions. And then, the media and all of them come in and they kind of fuel that fire. And my fear is that, and I may be wrong, but my fear is that there may be something that's rushed to market that may not be safe. And I don't know. It's a sticky situation. It is sticky, icky. Ooh-wee. Philippe says, at least 6 months from today. I think April or May sounds about right. Yeah, I think that's about right. Jake says those styrene tankers put Central Frontenac and South Frontenac and North Frontenac on high alert as they are pressurized tankers, and one wrong move and kaboom! It goes up like a light. Philippe, April, May sounds about right. I agree. I think it does sound about right. Jake says it's also very toxic, so it'd be a hazmat. Hazmat is hazardous materials job. Wow. Man, that sounds bad. Hopefully all this stuff goes away soon. Maybe, and I've remained optimistic that, maybe we'll just, we'll flip on the TV or something one day and they'll be like, oh, COVID's over. Maybe that's what'll happen. Who knows? Hopefully that'll be the case. Because it's gone on too long. I'm ready to, admittedly, I'm not super afraid of it, but I don't take it lightly. And I'm not going out in small gyms where there's not a lot of, airspace. I want to be, Brad says you don't want to catch COVID-19 2 months. Yeah, I definitely don't. I don't want anybody I know to catch it, but problem is I know probably right now, probably about 55 or 60 people that have caught it. So, and, not to downplay it, because, every situation is different, but they had a scratchy throat and a sniffly nose. Brad says 2 months later, I still can't smell anything and continue to have a metallic taste. Dude, I had that metallic taste. I had that, and I don't know, maybe I caught it, and yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, it's no fun. Then you have to get those sticks shoved up your nose. You don't want any of that. Philippe says, I have the Mavic 2 Pro, and I am thinking to get another drone, but undecided between the Mavic Air 2 or the Mini 2. Not an easy choice. Actually, it can be an easy choice. And for you, I'll make it really easy. So you've got the Mavic 2 Pro, which has a 1-inch sensor, which is great for low light, great for image quality. The best camera on a DJI drone today. The Mavic Air 2, there's no need to get the Mavic Air 2 because you've got the Mavic 2 Pro. You need to get it from epicdroneshow.com, and then click Buy Drone. You need to get the DJI Mini 2. And the reason you do, it's a completely different animal. So you got your Mavic 2 Pro for the professional camera, the extra weight for, wind handling if it's stronger wind or whatever. And then you've got your Mavic DJI, not Mavic, but DJI Mini 2 for your USB rechargeable, super small, super lightweight, more of a fun drone. Yeah, it still does 4K, but it's freaking awesome. It's the camera's not going to be quite as good as the Mavic 2 Pro, but they're two different animals. You're doing professional work, take your Mavic 2 Pro. You're going out and you want to, pack small and light and recharge by way of USB-C. Take your Mavic or your DJI Mini 2. That's what I would do, man. I would get the DJI Mini 2, and I would get it from epicdroneshow.com. But the Mavic Air 2 is available there for as well. So it's not just the DJI Mini 2. I am just worried about the wind situation with the Mini 2. I don't want to lose it. Oh, man, check this out. Let me link something for you. And this is not doctored up. This is, this is me in the field with the Mini 2. Is about 15 to 20 mile per hour wind. Let's see. I got get that up here. Yeah, this was a side view, so you can see how it's compensating. Let me get a link. Yeah, so that video right there, you can see the Mini 2. That's my Mini 2, and the winds were between 15 and 20 miles per hour, and you can see it's maintaining a stable hover, which was incredible. Brad says, me to Philippe, but I have Mavic 2 Zoom and Mavic Mini 2 currently. And then Jake has an update. Update on the alert. It's a hazmat, so not needed. I thought the chief was going to call me and say, Jake, come to the station. We need you now. But since it's hazmat, CFFR will handle it. Very cool. Hopefully all that goes well, man. That's no fun. No fun. Not at all. I tell you, Netflix has released a lot of shows from Norway and those Scandinavian countries. And actually, some of them are pretty good. There's a lot of like crime shows, and they've got not subtitles. They did the, voiceover or whatever, where they're speaking in English, but the lips don't sync up because they were speaking in another language. There's some pretty good shows, though. I've been trying to find good stuff to watch. I mean, obviously I don't play video games. I got the Xbox Series X because I was kind of curious about it, but I just don't have the time to invest, or not to invest, but the time to waste playing games, unfortunately. Jake says, the Central Frontenac, Ontario Provincial Police have confirmed that the tanker was full, so hazmat is in charge. Hazardous materials are in charge. That's good. Hopefully they got the right people on that, man. Yeah, that is scary. Super duper duper scary. Well, my MacBook Air M1 is not shipped yet, and I think it's because I ordered it with some kind of customized specs. I got, well, not really customized, but probably not the standard. I got 16 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte SSD. Curiously enough, at least the current M1 systems, MacBook Pro 13 M1, MacBook Air M1, Mac Mini M1, those three systems that currently have the M1 that Apple's released, their first round of M1 systems, you can't go beyond 16 gigs of RAM. But honestly, that the Mac Mini M1 that I've got over there in front of me, dude, it's a beast with with 16 gigs. So I was afraid that I'd feel gimped, but I don't, because I usually use 32 or 64 gigs in my systems. Jake says, it was empty, or South Frontenac would be on standby. Philippe says, I am shopping for music app, and I decided to go with Spotify. Good choice. Now, regarding Netflix, I don't know. I don't watch too many shows or movies. Yeah, if you don't watch a lot, man, you know what I found? Amazon Prime. I use Amazon Prime for all my, everything from toilet paper to deodorant to paper towels and food. And, the good thing about Amazon Prime is that with my Prime, I get movies. And actually, Amazon's got not only a decent selection of movies now that are on Prime, but they've also got a lot of miniseries. Amazon's got an original miniseries called Bosch, which admittedly the first few episodes were kind of tough to get into, but man, that's a good, if you like detective shows and crime dramas and that sort of stuff, I'm big in that kind of stuff. If you like that, dude, Bosch is rock solid. And the good thing is it's on Amazon, so I get that as part of Amazon Prime, which has been wonderful. So, but yeah, I'm not a big movie guy either. I'd rather create movies, go out and film them and edit them and post them here on YouTube. It's so much more fun. But, sometimes it's good just to sit down and watch a mafia show, just to relax and have a good time. But Jake says, oh, they do. I'm a CFFR volunteer. Whoa, cool. I'm hoping they put some of those ultra-wide monitors on sale because I've got the one monitor, 4K. It's 3840 by 2160, but it's a 16 by 9 resolution, so it's not ultra-wide. I envision an ultra-wide right in front of me in the corner of my office, which is in front of my green screen right now, and I think that would be an awesome visual, to be able to go in and edit my Final Cut Pro 10 videos. Jake says, we have the best Frontenac County hazmat team in Eastern Ontario, Canada. I don't doubt it, man. I don't doubt it. I mean, you're dependable. You're always here, not only on time but ahead of schedule, and you've always got fascinating stories to share, rather. So that's awesome, man. Tell your chief that Irix Guy gives you the thumbs up, and tell your chief that your chief should give you a raise, man. Tell your chief that. Tell your chief that Irix Guy said give you a raise because you're cool. Philippe says, and what do you think about the sticks hook up on your up to your TV? Chromecast, Roku, Apple TV, YouTube. Well, curiously enough, I'm a big Apple guy, but for my televisions that I watch, Netflix and traditional TV on, every one of them I use a Fire Stick 4K, and I've got a link on my website. Go to my website IrixGuy.com, and actually I'm going to post a link right now on my channel, but I'm going to explain why I do this here in just a second. Because it's actually, there's several reasons why I do this. See if this is my link. Oh, here we go. Bingo. Boom. Okay, I'm going to get this. I'm going to post it. I'm going to post y'all a link here. Y'all can check it out. So the reason I use Fire Stick 4K on all my TVs, several reasons. Number one, I don't have traditional cable or satellite. Too expensive. Too much haggling. I'd call them every 12 months or whatever, right before the promotional expiration date. I'd give them grief. I'd get customer retention. I'd tell them that they're too expensive and I don't want to be their customer. And they would almost always give me a discount and keep me on for another 12 months. That went on for years. And then finally, they just threw in a towel and said, we're not going to do it. I said, well, you know what? I'm not going to do it either. I said, your prices are too expensive. I don't enjoy watching it, blah, blah, blah. So the link I just posted in the chat, that's the reason I went with Fire Stick. So I've got a huge over-the-air HD TV antenna, which picks up over-the-air networks. There's quite a bit, depending on where you live. Then I use, which is also linked there, the Fire TV Recast, which is a DVR, but it also connects to the free over-the-air HD TV antenna. So it functions as a DVR. It records over-the-air TV shows. Also, the Fire TV Stick 4K, I can install YouTube. I can install Amazon Prime. I can install Netflix, HBO, Showtime. I got all the shows, all the channels I want to watch, plus the over-the-air HD TV that's coming in through the Fire TV Recast, all in one little nice little ecosystem. So for that reason, all my television watching is Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Now, for computers, obviously, I use Apple.
It's just personal preference. I mean, I like that. I like the Apple TV 4K. Actually, this green screen behind me that I filmed on Pinell Island, the green screen video that's playing, that's running off an Apple TV 4K. I've got 2 Apple TV 4Ks, but I'm using them for my live streaming purposes, not using them to watch TV, although they're good devices. But I don't know, that's just how I did it. And a Fire Stick 4K is very affordable. What I also like about it comes with a remote. And with most TVs, you can pair that remote with the TV so you can eliminate, whatever remote your TV came with and use the Fire Stick 4K remote instead. And the other value add is that if you have multiple TVs in your residence, as you go among the various TVs, you've got the same remote, so the same control experience. You don't have to relearn your brain. You don't have to retrain your brain to know which TV you're watching and how to control it. Jake says, oh, he knows I've been watching your streams while on Call Station in Charlotte. He watches them with me from time to time when he isn't busy or at another station. Very cool. Philippe says, my Spectrum bill is about $175 a month. $175 a month. Oh, phone, line, cable, and internet. How much do you think I could save going your... Dude, that is steep. Ooh. I don't know, man. That is rough. Jake says, the Central Frontenac Fire Station in Parham is equipped to deal with train derailments as the CPR Belleville subdivision runs through the area. Brad says, any thoughts on the current state of the drone market? It's interesting. To elaborate upon the comment, it's interesting. I think as much as I hate to say this, I think that there's a large camp of people that like to use drones when they travel. And I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think that the obsession with drones has fizzled out a little bit, maybe because of the pandemic, or do you think that more people are coming on board the hobby because of the pandemic, and it's a great way to entertain yourself without being around others? What do you think? I tell you what's goofy, man. You go out to the golf course. I play a lot of golf, and you go out to the golf course and you can't pull the pin out of the hole because of the COVID stuff. They're like, you can't touch the flagstick. No. So you just got to putt with the stick in the hole, and that's going to mess stuff up because once all this COVID stuff goes away, people have been playing golf with a pin in there. And when you've got a pin in there, if you're hitting the putt kind of hot, that pin may cause the ball to fall in the cup. So you're going to have a lot of people, because, see, traditionally with golf, before the COVID, if you were on the green, you had to pull the pin out. There's no option. You had to pull the pin out. Jake says, but very rarely do incidents happen on the Bellevue sub. Brad says, I just had a stupid commercial pop up during your answer. Oh, man, that's pitiful. 2 in a row. Geo1, hello. Geo, welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Yep, want to remind everyone tuning in here, we got a lot more people. If you choose to super chat, you can click that little super chat icon down in the chat area. This thing will erupt. I call this the sound of the super chat, so anytime a super chat comes in, it will make a sound. If we get through $100 US, I will break out the drum. So stay tuned. Philippe says, I would love to bring my drone to Cuba. Unfortunately, drones are banned there, unless I can hide the DJI Mini 2. Yeah, Cuba, man, that's some communist stuff. You gotta be careful. Yeah, I wouldn't. Number one, I've never been to a communist country, and if I ever had to go, I would not. Yeah, I would not. I would not risk it, man. I mean, that's some hardcore stuff. And I just, I don't know. Yeah, that's some scary stuff. I mean, I'll deal with certain countries, but not communist countries. Jake says, and the most they do are police calls or railway police calls. Interesting. Man, this stuff, it's like, I don't really have a sore throat, but I just got this drainage, man, and I'm just like, ugh, I hope it's not that pandemic. Hope it's not. Hope nobody has this pandemic thing that's going around. But a lot of people have, including Brad. Brad, I hope you get your taste back soon, man. That's a bummer. It is a bummer. Let's see, what else we got going on here? We have, a bunch of outdoors tutorials coming. You know, how to survive in the wilderness, how to start a campfire, how to pitch a tent, how to find firewood, how to look for widow makers. You know, you don't think about it, but when you're camping, you're backpacking, and you pitch your tent, you need to be aware of what's above you, what's, potentially, a few many feet away, because trees are tall. And if there's a dead tree and, the wind picks up and it falls, it could still reach you, even if you're not right beside it. And a fallen tree could be deadly. Even branches of sizable size off of a tree, even a smaller branch, if it falls and, you're sleeping, it pokes you in the eye, you could be a goner. So, be aware of widow makers. And that's some content that'll be coming soon on IrixGuy's Adventure Channel, youtube.com/IrixGuys. So, just trying to keep the content as diverse as possible. Diversity is important. Jake says, let's see what we got here. I've got a sniffly nose. And I don't have a MacBook Air M1. It hasn't arrived yet. I'm bummed about that. We're gonna have a bunch of Black Friday deals in various places. Speaking of Black Friday deals, go on over to epicdroneshow.com and click buy a drone, and you can check out the Black Friday deals there, which there's actually some really cool stuff. I haven't really bought anything for Black Friday, man. I've been looking. Philippe says, I have been to Cuba 3 times. Whoa. Yeah, that sounds cool. Best time of your life. I've heard so many people say Cuba's awesome, and I'd like to go. I'm always down there when there's not a pandemic swarming around. But I've never been. I've been all over the Virgin Islands, all over the West Indies. I've never been to Cuba, and it's on my list. And I think the coolest thing there, just from what you see from photos, and again, I've never been there, but, all those cars, those old cars, and it's, let me ask you this, though. How is the food in Cuba? Is the food good? I mean, I know they're famous for the mojitos, the drinks, but is the food any good? And is it expensive? Do you feel safe? Do you go out at night, or is it kind of like a daytime thing only? Do they have curfews? Are they friendly? Jake says, most Soviet Union-era vehicles are still built today. David, hello from Montreal. Been to Cuba at least 10 times. That's a lot, man. 10 times in Cuba. Okay, let me ask you this. What is the worst thing that's happened to you in Cuba? And what is the best thing that's happened to you in Cuba? Answer those questions. Both of y'all, Philippe and David. Philippe and David both. David said the food is getting better. Okay, so that doesn't sound too encouraging. So the food doesn't sound like it's that good, man. Brad says, thoughts on DJI rumored racing drone? You think you'll get one when they release it? I think a racing drone from DJI is plausible. It would make sense. It would fill a gap in their product catalog. Will I get one? Probably so. Not because I care about racing a drone, but I know a lot of people do. And it would be something that would be fun to review and tinker with here on IrixGuy's Adventure Channel. So
if they do come out with one, I'll probably get one just to unbox, review, and chat about and see what y'all think about the racing drone. So David says restaurants are good, local restaurants are good. Philippe says, wow, I have so many stories about Cuba. I want to go to Cayo Santa Maria. Cayo Santa Maria. David said, best thing, met friends. Jake said, and me, I've been to Cuba lots of times. I have a buddy who lives there. Very cool. David says, worst thing, I got sick for half my trip. Verdurero is awesome. Brad says for freestyle, not for racing. David says, people are very nice. A few scammers. Yeah, you got to watch scammers everywhere, man. That's the thing. And you just got to know how to, you got to be a hustler to know how to survive the hustle. And I think, one of the things that someone taught me, and it's actually a really cool thing, and I'll share with everyone. It doesn't matter if you're in Cuba or if you're anywhere. What's the word for it? If you're anywhere that could be questionable, what I always do, I carry 2 wallets, and I don't get something that looks clunky. I just get an older wallet that I had, and I put maybe $20, $25 in it. I put a credit card that's not expired, but just, a credit card I don't use. And I put, maybe a few other miscellaneous things, just a random business card or something like that. And the reason I do that is that if I'm ever mugged, that's the wallet that's in my back pocket. So, if they get it and they get it out, you just got a credit card and you already know what the credit card number is. So, that after you get away from the mugging, which hopefully you get away, that, you can call your credit card company and say, okay, this is card number. I want to cancel it because I was mugged. You can do that. But I always keep my actual wallet. I've got an under the shirt that doesn't create a profile, but an under the shirt thing where I'll take, my actual money and my driver's license and credit cards and all of that. So, yeah, it's, Philippe says, the worst, I was in the resort at Veradero. I was eating fish, and I asked for water for a piece of lemon. The waiter replied to me, sorry, sir, lemons are not in season right now. That's pretty bad. Jake said, worst thing for me was my first time being stopped by a Cuban police officer back when I couldn't speak good Spanish. I'm good at it now, though. And David says, best beaches ever. I've been to Hawaii, too. David said, people love gifts. Doesn't have to be new stuff. Philippe says, the best thing to happen to me in Cuba, I found a girlfriend in less than a minute. There you go, man. Get you those women. That's what you got to do. David says, Cuba is very safe. Mexico, man, you got the cartel. Mexico has gotten raw. I mean, it has, man. I've been there a few times, but I have no desire to go back. I really don't. That's a shame. Jake said, it was so hard for me to communicate with a cop. My friend had to assist explaining to the officer that I was learning Spanish but couldn't speak it yet. David said, Cubans love anything with Nike, baseball shirts, running shoes. Philippe says, I have been to over 36 countries. Whoa, that's awesome, dude. That's a lot of countries, man. That is very cool. That is a lot of countries. Super, super duper number of countries. Wow, man. That is a lot. Lot. Yeah, Philippe says, depending on where I am in Mexico. Well, it's not that it's bad. It's just that the cartel now is so prevalent that, even if you're in a good area, that's not necessarily a good area because, it can be bad. David says, we go all inclusive, but we still tip. You will be treated like royalty. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing about, some of these places you go and you can get,
you get the VIP experience, like you're saying, man. Just tip, and that's a good thing. David said, we go to locals' homes, know them well. Jake said, my buddy in Cuba is from Veradero. We go vehicle spotting. There's so many from all over the world, Asia, USA, Canada, Europe, you name it, even old Soviet relics. David said, go to church with locals. Philippe says, believe it or not, most of the Cuban people were making around $20 US dollars a month. Oh, man, that's awful. David says, I'm learning Spanish. Yeah, Spanish is a good language to know. Spanish is a good language. Definitely a good language to know. And then, let's see. Wozenge zu Zingwen. Be careful with excursions. Yeah, excursions can get you, man. They can get you into some bad places because a lot of people, the thing is, those excursions, the people with ill intent know those routes and those schedules. They know when there's a shipping port, and they know who's going to be going where. And, if you're someone with ill intent, you probably know, okay, well, there's a ship in the port, okay? There's probably going to be excursions, and this is where they go. So those people with ill intent, have their eyes focused upon, whatever sketchy, turn or isolated stretch, and that's where they strike. So they're not safe, man. In some places, they're not safe. Jake said, my friend from Mexico, Delfino, recently got a concealed permit for carrying a pistol to protect himself from possible cartel attack. The bad part is, man, a cartel attack, I mean, that's great to have that. But, dude, those people can be mean, man. They can be mean. Fleece said, my Spanish is broken, not good enough to communicate. My Spanish is mediocre. Hablo español así. David said, don't try ziplining, can be dangerous. Equipment not often safe. Yeah, I've always wondered about zip lines in these third world countries. Or not necessarily third world, but developing countries. The only zip line I've done, and obviously it was a first world country, I did the zip line in British Columbia in Canada. And that was a lot of fun. I mean, you always got to wonder, who was having a bad day and did a poor job of inspecting. That's always in the back of your mind. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not one to stay cooped up. I want to get out and experience these adventures. Film these videos for IrixGuy's Adventure Channel. So if there's an acceptable degree of risk, it's probably worth it. But you're right. I wouldn't do a zip line in a lot of areas. Jake says he lives in an area where cartel activity has been reported in the past. Dude, it's all over. And it's not just in Mexico. I mean, that is a big thing, and it's scary. David says he met a fellow that got badly hurt ziplining. Was it ziplining or the cartel? Woohoo! Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. Philippe says the problem in Cuba, the U.S. credit cards are not working. Therefore, you have to bring a lot of cash. Kind of scary. Yeah, I know. I don't travel with cash. Normally, if I go anywhere, the maximum dollar amount, just because I don't trust it, the maximum dollar amount I'll ever carry will be about $200 U.S. David says zipline. Customs aren't very friendly. They try to confiscate a gift from friend. That's not good. Jake says many Mexican laws are similar to the U.S., except strictly enforced, but not just by the police, but the Army too. Yeah, man, you got down there, you got the police, you got the Army, you got the cartel. I mean, you got all these powerful parties, just doing their thing, and they've all got power complex. They want to do what they want to do. They certainly do. So on that note, guys, I think I'm going to go watch some sort of dubbed over Scandinavian movie, or not movie, a Scandinavian miniseries about undercover cops. I think the name of it is actually Undercover. It's on Netflix. It's actually a really good show. They've got the second season, and I've enjoyed watching it. Jake says many Mexican laws are similar to U.S. except strict. Oh, let's see. David says, where are you from? David said, love riding in those old cars. Jake says, that's why I just get Cuban cash when I get there. My Cuban buddy has me covered with that. Very cool. Yeah, get those Cubano cash, man. Cubano cash. That's what you got to do. David says, I bring guitar strings for musicians. Hard to get. That's smart. You can, yeah, I mean, you're helping them out. You're making them happy. That is kind of freaky, though. You think of communism, man. It's like that's how messed up things are because they can't even get the basic thing. I mean, that's horrible. It's horrible. But yeah, man. Yaman. Yep. Speaking of milestones real quickly, so IrixGuy's Adventure Channel is approaching, not where I want to be with it, but I'm approaching 79,000 subscribers. So just a little bit over 21,000 to get to 100,000, which is my first miniature milestone. Once I get the channel to 100,000 subscribers, I should get a YouTube silver play button, which is a silver looking, it's got a little arrow. I think it says play button or something, but it's a trophy that I can mount in my studio saying I've achieved 100,000 subscribers. So that's a miniature milestone. Again, not a big number, but a step in the right direction. So, I want to reiterate, and I know y'all do this, but tell everyone you know. That could be friends, that could be family, that could be people you don't even like. I mean, maybe you're at a bus station or a bowling alley or on an elevator, and you say, hey, I got to tell you something. And they look at you because it's like, well, who's this stranger talking to me? Check out youtube.com/IrixGuy and be sure to subscribe. Who's that? Well, check it out and subscribe. He needs to get to 100,000 subscribers ASAP. That's all I got to say. So, Philippe says the Cuban government has eliminated the CUC currency, CUC currency. David says, you're a good host. David, for that, sir. So I appreciate that. Appreciate your viewership, and that's the sound of the super chats. So anytime we get super chats or a very awesome comment like that, that is cool. And then David says, I'll be back. That's what matters, man. Keep coming back. I appreciate that. Philippe says, you need 100,000 subscribers, Ed. I do. And it's viewers like you, with your support, that can make that happen. And that's super important, and I really appreciate it. David says, you've been to Canada? I've been to British Columbia in Canada. I love Canada. And I haven't even opened it yet, but I've got a bottle of that Crown Royal that you can only buy in Canada, and I haven't opened it. And it's been many years since I've been to Canada, but I loved it up there. And I love the poutine, fries and gravy with cheese curds. David said, shout out to Montreal. Shout out to Montreal. Most definitely. Well, everyone, I am going to I'm going to wrap this baby up. Go ahead and end this show. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Stay tuned. Hopefully tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Wednesday for sure. Upcoming live show. If you'd like to be a guest, either by way of telephone or face on video with Skype, shoot me a message. Facebook.com/IrixGuy, and I'll get you in the queue and you can be part of the action. So I got the hiccups really bad, so I'm going to go ahead and sign this off. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Yeah, poutine was invented. Let's talk about poutine on the next show. Fries, gravy, and cheese curds. Y'all have a good one.